How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good. What can I help you with?
Well, I got some items that Wyatt Earp owned.
Okay.
And I got a book of photographs.
Any of them of Wyatt Earp?
Maybe.
Do you mind me asking what you paid?
This I paid $1,000.
You paid $1,000 for a book and you don't know who's in it.
Yeah, pretty stupid, huh? I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my items that belong to Wyatt Earp, and I have some old pictures of Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson. I don't know how much these items are worth, but I'm here today to find out.
So where did you get all this stuff?
Okay, I got this book of photographs from the internet.
Like an online auction or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I got this Wyatt Earp memorabilia from John Gilchrist.
Who's John Gilchrist?
When Wyatt Earp died, he passed all his things down to best friend John Flood. Then when Flood died, he passed them down to John Gilchrist. Gilchrist was the one that found the gravesite of Josephine Earp and Wyatt Earp.
Was it missing at one point? Or?
I don't think anybody really knew where it was.
And this looks like a blank stock certificate from Tombstone Consolidated Gold and Silver Mining Company. That's neat. American Old West icons don't get much bigger than Wyatt Earp. The lawman of Dodge City and Tombstone is best known for his showdown at the OK Corral. Anything associated with Wyatt Earp is worth a lot of money. You have some interesting photos here. I mean, there's some great tintypes in here. Back in the day, when you develop a photograph, it's got some pretty nasty, terrible chemicals, and it would destroy paper. So they would put them on a piece of tin. It could handle all the different chemicals and everything else they were using.
I've been told that one of these is of Wyatt Earp and one is of Bat Masterson, but I don't know for sure.
That looks like a U.S. Marshal's badge. Bat Masterson was a notorious lawman that served right beside Wyatt Earp in Dodge City. If these are real pictures of two of the biggest legends of the Old West, they're going to be worth a ton. Some of these tintypes are in incredible condition. I have a friend that's coming down later today. Old West stuff, he knows everything there is to know about it. If you can come back, we'll get all this checked out when he's here.
Okay, sounds good. I'm looking forward to have an expert come in and look at my items to tell me what the value is and maybe tell me a little bit of the history.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm Mark. I'm the administrator of the Clark County Museum. So what do we have here today?
He's got two pictures in here. He thinks one might be Wyatt Earp and one that might be Bat Masterson.
Okay.
And he also claims he's got some stuff that was owned by Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp's one of those iconographic figures out of the Old West that ended up defining how we view the Old West. To find a new original photograph of somebody like Wyatt Earp or Bat Masterson, it'd make headlines. I've seen a number of images of Bat Masterson. He was widely photographed. It's a very nice tintype of a Western lawman. Bat Masterson, no. This does not look like him. The eyebrows aren't right. The ears aren't right.
Okay.
In terms of this image, you don't often see three men sitting there with shotguns. This one is a very nice 1880s image, but not Wyatt Earp.
Okay.
A lot of people get these types of photographs and they want to believe that there's somebody famous, and they're not. There is only one Wyatt Earp and only one Bat Masterson. It's very hard to prove whether a particular piece was in fact owned by somebody famous. Even if it was owned by Wyatt Earp, it's still a brochure from a hotel. It's just a printed piece of paper. What do we have here?
This is a letter from Josephine Earp to John Flood in 1931.
Well, now that would be interesting. John Flood was Wyatt Earp's personal secretary in the early 1920s. And the time is right. It's an original envelope. It's a personal piece from his widow to his private secretary 2 years after his death. The most interesting piece is what appears to be an original Josephine Earp letter. John Flood was still friends with Josephine Earp, and it would tie directly back into this iconographic figure. My difficulty is I've never seen any of Josephine Earp's writings. You'd have to have somebody who knows the handwriting to be able to authenticate it.
All right, you're the best.
Thank you.
All right, so we generally have an idea of what we got here now. This one's full of tintypes. My problem is I've always had a really hard time selling them. I swear I can't give the damn things away. So there's nothing I could really do with that. This one over here is really interesting as far as a historical perspective. As far as a collectible perspective, really, really tough.
So what are you telling me? You gonna make an offer on anything?
Nothing.
Or?
Nothing. I mean, there's just nothing I could do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing them in.
Hey, thanks for looking at them.
No problem.
I'm disappointed that we didn't make a deal. It would have been nice to have some extra money.